I'm ranking all the presidents of the United States to find out who is the best one. And today, we are starting with...
Come on, man.
Obama needs no introduction. Favorite president of many. But let's run down on these 4 categories on if he did good or bad. First category, economy and cost of living. Let's look at his inflation rate. When he entered office, it was at 0% inflation. That is not good. It shows an economy collapse, where demand is low and unemployment rises. According to Bureau of Labor Statistics CPI data, inflation under Obama averaged about 1.4 to 1.5%. This is good. It's close to the ideal range for a healthy, growing economy. And by the time he left, it was around 2.1 to 2.5%. Inflation was still acceptable, just on the higher end of normal. Overall, inflation improved under Obama. The economy moved from a dangerous near-deflation state to stable, healthy inflation, without raising too high and out of control. The only things that were bad were slow job and wage growth, and pre-2008 manufacturing never came back. Overall, I think he did great. I'll give him a 22 out of 25 for economy. Now, foreign policy. Obama inherited 2 major wars and avoided starting any new large ground wars. He ended the Iraq combat mission and delivered major strategic wins, like killing bin Laden, which gave the US massive deterrence and credibility, and the Iran nuclear deal.
Yes.
Global stability largely held during his term, with no great power war. That said, he heavily expanded airstrikes and drone warfare across multiple countries, which caused civilian casualties and normalized undeclared, low-visibility wars with limited congressional oversight. I weigh that pretty heavily, so I dock him multiple points. Overall, he gets a 19 out of 25. Now, border and immigration. Obama deported 3 million illegal immigrants. Illegal crossings dropped sharply, and he actively spoke against illegal immigration.
If you're a criminal, you'll be deported. If you plan to enter the U.S. illegally, your chances of getting caught and sent back just went up.
He had clear enforcement early on into his presidency. All that is great, but later on in 2012, he introduced the DACA program, which incentivized illegal immigration for future presidents, by protecting people who came here as kids illegally and forgiving them. This caused immigration enforcement not to be only about law, but about policy. Future illegal aliens could expect similar programs from other presidents. Before DACA, enforcement prioritized legal status itself. After, DACA enforcement depended on who you were, not whether you broke the law. ICE had to decide who to ignore, not just who violated immigration law. And this had actual consequences that we saw during his presidency. In 2014, unaccompanied minors and family units at the border sharply went up, and border facilities were overwhelmed. Children were used as entry shields, and DACA was not a permanent system, but instead pushed problems onto future presidents. I'd also like to mention that I deducted points for the children in cages and inhumane treatment, but then gave points back because I admire that he actively gave many people citizenship who were here for many years or are hardworking, good people and had programs like that. So for this, I will give his immigration a 16 out of 25. Final category, domestic policy.
Yes.
Obama passed a lot of big domestic policies and definitely played a role in stabilizing the country after a major crisis. But the results were pretty uneven. Obamacare expanded coverage, but for a lot of middle-class Americans, it raised premiums, increased deductibles, and reduced doctor and plan choices, which made healthcare feel more expensive and harder to actually use. Outside of healthcare, a lot of his domestic agenda relied heavily on executive action instead of durable legislation, which made those policies unstable and easy to reverse later. Because of that, major structural problems, especially healthcare costs, weren't really fixed in a lasting way. Personally, I'm not deducting many points for executive orders, because I think presidents sometimes need to move fast to make necessary changes. I will deduct a solid amount for Obamacare, but I still give Obama credit for helping recover and stabilize the country after the crisis, which is why I'm giving him a 15 out of 25 for domestic policy. This brings the final score to 72, putting him at the top of the list for now. Make sure to like and follow for more.